Hello. This is Jason Martinez, and I'm here with Kaylee, and we are in Brussels, Belgium, which is the capital of this small Western European country. But anyway, it kind of looks, if you watch the beginning of the video, all the people crowded in this very busy part of their city center, that it might be like a Saturday afternoon or another busy time where people are out shopping and just walking everywhere. But in reality, it's a Thursday, really just a little bit after lunchtime, around 1 o'clock. And so, anyway, we've only been here for less than 24 hours, but there's a lot of interesting things going on right now. In addition to the fact that they all speak French here for the most part, and probably a lot of other languages like most Europeans. French is the primary language, and if we were to listen to most of the people having conversation on the streets, they're going to be speaking in French, even though, like right here just to our right, we see, and all over the place, that we have people of a lot of different cultures here. In the front, we have what look like to be, Middle Easterners or somewhere, else in maybe Southwest Asia. And then behind them, Asian and African descent. And if we just look to the right and just look around, you can tell that there's a large combination of people from all over the world, which makes Brussels a very international city. My point made, the tram we got on yesterday that took us from the train station here to the city center, there was about 40 people on our train car, and other than Kaylee and Dan and myself, and about 2 other people, everybody else on the train, the other 35 people were all not from really European descent. They were African or Asian or, just elsewhere in the world. So anyway, Belgium is different in many ways. In Brussels, where we're at right now, it's not, people told us this, and they were right, it's not as clean, it's not as maintained in the same way that the towns were in the Netherlands or Antwerp, even in just 30 minutes north of here. In Belgium was a lot different. It was well cared for and just much more organized. This is what I think you can expect from a town that is huge, with a lot of people trying to do a lot of things at the same time from a lot of different places. And it looks like they prioritize the size of the town and the activity of the town over, keeping it super clean and just well cared for. We've seen a lot of, things here on the side. It's the first place in Europe we've really seen it, was here in Brussels. There was a little girl just down the way, a short bit, with a blanket and some toys. She couldn't have been more than 3 or 4 years old, just sitting there in the middle of the walkway by herself, basically with no supervision. But we haven't had a chance to look at some of the more famous things. The European Parliament is here, like the EU, they meet here, I believe. Right now, really interestingly, Donald Trump is here in Brussels, along with a lot of other world leaders, because there's a NATO summit, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is, a combination of a lot of countries that are in a treaty together for economic and military purposes. But so anyway, without having been all through Brussels, Kaylee and I probably both can say that it is a very large, crowded town. It's a little dirty, like people said. And there's a lot of different types of people here, which is cool, because international things are really nice to see people getting along and cooperating from different parts of the world. And Kaylee's giving me the signal. It's time to wrap the video up. So here we are in Brussels, Belgium. It's got a lot of really pretty old architecture, and it does have a definite flair of antiquity to it, but it's also a very modern city. And we'd like to see more of it sometime, but we've got to head on to our next destination toward Italy today. But thank you, Kaylee, for filming, and thank you, Brussels, for, about a day of hosting us. And we will see you soon. Thanks, Kaylee.
Bye.